drinking liquor drinks, so let's do it.
All right, here we go. We're live.
Yeah.
Come in here. All right.
My wife told me not to.
Your wife told you what?
My wife told me not to be weird.
Okay. Well, don't be weird. All right. All right. Gonna let everyone kind of stream in here. It takes like a minute for everyone to stream in. And let's see if we're live. Let's see.
Where you're repping?
We don't do that for the podcast, so we just do that on the live show.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to your podcast when I was in El Salvador.
How were you?
I wanted to say I was repping from El Salvador, but I couldn't because my data plan sucked.
Oh. There you go. All right. So.
Your podcast when I was in El Salvador.
There we go. All right. Let me mute that. I'm going to go ahead and share this. And I'm just going to call this one Benjamin Allbright because it's basically what we're talking about here.
I'm going to, I believe my attorney / wife is going to be next to me telling me when I should and shouldn't say things.
Yes, listen to her. Your wife always knows best. Yeah.
Trust me, she knows what's best.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Letting everyone kind of come in here. I think we're live. Let's see. What's up, Turtle Riders? How are we all doing? I'm going to go ahead right now. I am sharing a link to this live episode on the Philip Prentice page as we speak, and then we're going to get this party started. Let's see.
Start the party.
We're live.
And if there's a point in which they want to ask me,
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Like general questions, I will answer to the best of my knowledge. I am not a subject matter expert, but I've seen more than, I'd say, 100 of these documents. So.
Cool. All right, here we go. We're going live. Oh, no, we are live. We're going to start recording now, and all right. All right, what's up, Turtle Riders? Welcome to Uncle Turtle Boy's Late Night Garage Podcast from the basement. This episode, as always, brought to you by our good friends over at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. If you're in the market, guys, for a new garage door or a new garage door system, all right, if you have one of those old rickety garage doors like I used to have back in the 90s, and it's basically turned into a Hadassah pile of shit. Like we've seen Hadassah's garage. It looks like that. You don't want that. You don't want to be like Hadassah. You want to be like Uncle Turtle Boy. Go with the times. Call our friends up at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. You can find them online at gdplus.com. They will come over that day. They will give you a quote that is so fair, it will blow your doors off. No pun intended. You're going to hire them right there on the spot. They're going to hook it up. They're going to give you a nice little clicker. Boom, you're going to press a button. The garage door is magically going to go open up. You're going to press it again, and it's going to go down. Right? It's going to be awesome. It's going to change your life forever. Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. Find them online at gdplus.com. All right, so what we're here to talk about tonight, the main topic of discussion, guys, is this Benjamin Allbright story that, quite frankly, I spent all day blogging about yesterday because we had a lot of issues with the website yesterday. So I wrote that blog like 3 freaking times, right? It was like the worst day. And some of you now are still might be getting issues, right? You might be getting 404s, etc. So we switched hosting providers like 2 weeks ago. It sucked, right? Everything was broken. So I went back to WP Engine, which is more expensive, but whatever, at least it worked. And in the process, like we've published like 15 or 20,000 blogs, and every single picture we ever used, it's all got to transfer over. That's complicated. All right, shit gets messed up in the process. It has to point to the new server. So if you're getting weird shit, if you're getting 404s, that means it's pointing you to the wrong server. And that self-corrects over time. Most people are not getting that anymore. And so let us know. I mean, if you are getting it, hopefully it gets fixed soon, etc. Anyway, if you guys could also do me a favor, I have shared this YouTube link on the Philip V. Prentice Facebook page, which you all should be following because clearance is suspended. Why don't you go ahead and share that for me and let us know. Let people know we're live, we're trying to get here, etc. Anyway, what I'm here to talk about tonight is the story, like I said, that we blogged yesterday about this guy, Benjamin Allbright, who has been all over our good friends Kirk Minahan and Steve Robinson over at now Barstool Sports. And basically what happened, here's the background. We do have a guest with us tonight. We call him G.I. Turtle. How you doing, G.I. Turtle?
Oh, hello.
What's happening? I lose your volume there?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. We're good now. Okay. So we're going to be consulting with him momentarily, but first I got to give you the background to this if you haven't been following this, because it's a fascinating story. So last week, Dave Portnoy, the president of Barstool Sports, Huffstool Sports rather, he decided that he was going to make a joke about unionizing on Twitter. And he's like, I'm going to crush unions. It's an ongoing joke he's had for like 4 years. And everybody freaked out about it. And he got a lot of bad press over it. And it was literally all a freaking joke. All right. Now, one of these blue check marks that took himself real seriously is this cat, Benjamin Allbright. And Benji Boy decides he's going to say, he tweets out, when was the last time anyone went to Barstool Sports for anything sports related? All right. It's like, dude, it's a fucking joke. All right. And Kirk Minahan and his loyal army of followers see this because the Minifans are, you think Turtle Riders are fanatic. The Minifans are even crazier, but they're all on Twitter. My followers are mostly on Facebook. Anyway, they decide they're going to go after this guy, right? Not go after him, but like just fire back at him, right? But the guy, I've never seen somebody take himself so seriously. I mean, what do you think of him, G.I. Turtle? This guy in general, before we get to his service. What do you think about him personally? Some of his interactions?
I mean, as someone who's been in the infantry for 17 years, I think that he's a kind of exaggerating punk who has nothing to back up what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. To me, he just seems like a complete and total psychopath. That's the best way I could put him.
Yes.
He literally responds to he's got 83,000 followers. And I would like to remind you right now, his Twitter has gone to private, which is if you have 83,000 followers, nothing's private. I hate to, you're like literally saying like, oh, well, I have this I could fill up, the University of Michigan stadium, right? But it's just them. So you're the only 83,000 people who can see this. It's stupid. It's pointless to do that.
Heaven forbid somebody bring a camera to your discussion of 83,000 people.
I know, exactly. So basically this guy, he responds back to like everyone. All right. If you have 83,000 followers on Twitter, you're going to get tons of notifications. You can't take them all seriously. This guy does. He responds to each and every one. It's freaking bizarre, but it's like a really cocky and obsessed way. I've never seen anything like this guy. How full of himself he is. Like, for instance, it all starts with, and this is what the Minifan people notice right away, is that he has tweeted about, he had his LSAT scores in his Twitter bio that he got a 178. So you can search on any account for those words, 178 LSAT. And it's like, well, mine obsessed with me being a lawyer, hit 178 on the LSAT, and then turned down every law school in the country. It's like, oh, what a fucking douche. What a douche.
Any score on the LSAT doesn't mean you'd be a good lawyer.
Well, that too. But it's just, it's how he ends he always ends every tweet and every statement with like this fucking passive aggressive, like I'm fucking the greatest shit that ever lived tone to it. Like what is he? Turn down every law school in the country. You had to fucking throw it out. Like literally Every law school in the country wanted this guy to go there, but he's like, nah, had to turn him down. 178, a little too good for you, When, I turned down, it's like over and over again. So that was odd, a lot of people thought. And so he also said nowadays he's like a Denver Broncos freaking sports schmuck. He's got a blue check mark somehow. He thinks he's important. He talks about freaking, the forward pass or whatever they talk about. But you also notice he lied about Harvard, right? He goes, I never managed to find my way there, okay, much to my mother's eternal chagrin. So there's one tweet in, I forget the date on that, 2017. He's like, I never went to Harvard Law. But yet, in these other tweets, I quit Harvard Law. That was 2018. Other ones saying, I left Harvard Law to do this. Okay, so like literally what he's saying there is like I've already got life by the balls. I own my own consulting company. I'm 39. I'm retired. I went to law school, and I'm literally a play-by. I freaking talk about should the Broncos run the ball more on second down. Because, fuck it, I've already conquered life, so I can afford a fucking hobby like this. That's basically how cocky this dude is. He said he went to Harvard a million times. Well, guess what? Turns out he didn't go to Harvard, all right? That was all a lie. And Steve Robinson caught him in a lie, and Steve Robinson is the former producer of the Howie Carr Show, and Steve is now the producer of the Minahan Show with Barstool, okay? So anyway, he kind of calls him out on this and asks him about it. And in an email, which I have published on here, he clearly says, yeah, I fucking fudged that one. But, it's what we do. In my opinion, G.I. Turtle, you lie about one thing, lie about everything, no? Did I lose him? Oh, yeah, there you are.
No. I'm still here. So I just wanted to say one thing and kind of join into what you're saying is, I had a good friend of mine who was in the Army with me who was accepted to WPI for rocket engineering. He did not leave WPI to stay in the Army. He left the damn Army to go for rocket engineering.
Right. That seems odd. So that's obviously nobody believes that, basically. I mean, it's absurd, but it's just, It's another one of those things he has to show. He couldn't just say Suffolk law. It had to be fucking Harvard law, And so,
of course.
Yeah, it's like everything, this guy just gets caught in lies and more comes out. It also, this is his exact wording. Have I been bad at verbiage on the Harvard claim in an effort to make myself look better? Probably. I stretched the facts and made it look like it was something it wasn't. So you admit it. You're a fucking liar, right? You lie about shit. He also says that he played football at the University of Arkansas, except I don't know if he went to Pine Bluff or Little Rock. I think he went to University of Arkansas, Little Rock. Well, guess what? They don't have a fucking football team. All right, so that's a lie. He says
who lies about Arkansas anyways?
I mean, well, you know why? Because he figured it's one of those things no one's going to look up. He goes, I was a walk-on. I didn't play much, so you won't find me on there. It's like, oh, yeah, sure thing, buddy. His father golfed.
For that damn internet.
Yeah, his father golfed on the PGA Tour for 3 years. He said he was golden gloves in the Army. Is there such thing as golden gloves in the Army?
I know fair disclaimer, I was in the Marine Corps before I was in the Army. And when we were on ship and on deployment, we did Golden Gloves competitions for boxers between the Marine Corps and the Navy. Uh-huh. I have no doubt that there's Golden Glove champions in the Army. It's a boxing thing, but it also really doesn't mean shit out of shit. It just means you can box really well.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So there's no official Golden Gloves. That's more bullshit.
And also, if you were a Golden Glove in anything, there'd be a way to verify that.
Exactly. Right.
It's a big deal.
So anyway, he goes on to say one time I'm a 15-year veteran and 2-time Army Gold Glover. He goes on to say that he was in Iraq and Afghanistan on combat tours. Korea and Germany, we'll revisit that in a moment because that does not seem to hold to the light of day. And then he goes on to say, I was a CW2 on my second tour. And we will get back to that. Remember that one when we go back to look at his DD-14, 214, which he has since published. He says he was part of what he calls the Spear in 2003, which was the initial invasion of Iraq. All right. Now, first of all, let me just say that normally I would not even give that much of a shit about, if this guy was just lying about his military service, I have honestly better things to do then worry about that. In my opinion, and I don't know about you. I mean, do you care? You're a veteran. Do you care?
So if I was interviewing somebody to hire underneath me, I would give them some general questions about that, and I'd pick them out of a crowd so quick that I would either turn them away completely or I would verify them immediately based on really simple questions.
Mm-hmm. But would you care about? Do you care about in general people faking service?
I would say yes. And I'm not one to grandstand my own service, but I am one that says, listen, don't make stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not the guy that runs around yelling stolen valor.
Yeah,
because that's whatever. Yeah. You know, if you're running around with Sergeant Major stripes, but Colonel's eagles on your shoulder,
yep,
then everyone in the community knows you're a fraud, and if civilians don't, you don't, and whatever.
Yeah.
But,
so my whole thing is like, I would not give a shit. I really don't. But it's his cockiness that makes me curious, and it's like it's the whole thing put together about Harvard law and all this shit, and the fact that he thinks he's better than everyone else. Like he thinks he's better than people who follow Minahan. He thinks he's better than, and he's trying to get them fired, which really pisses me off because it's more just like censorship essentially, and I have no tolerance for that kind of garbage. All right, and so this guy,
and this guy sure as shit ain't better than me. I'll tell you that right now.
Right, and what really pisses me off, and I've talked to a lot of other veterans about this, is how he uses his veteran status and his alleged accomplishments as like a trump card to win literally every single pissing match on the internet he's ever been in. He gets in the discussion.
If you pulled me out for something that I said, well, I went to Iraq 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What? And?
Yeah.
And what?
Well, because he uses it, like, for instance, when he talks about the wall. Like, he got into a big thing about that. Argument about that. And he's like, well, trust me. I built a wall. Did you see that? He said he built a wall between Iran and Iraq.
I did. And there's no wall between Iraq and Iran. That would... Iran... There is a wall between Iraq and Syria.
Yeah.
That was built. It is a real thing. But Iraq and Iran... Absolutely not.
That's a huge fucking border.
And second of all, it would have cost billions and billions of dollars.
Dude, that's like it's got to be at least 1,000 miles long. The Iraq-Iran border, kind of big countries, right? Like, I know they don't look that big.
It's in the mountains.
Yeah, exactly. That too. Like, how the fuck are you going to build a wall between Iraq and Iran? So, like, that's just another thing. Here's another thing that made no sense. Fun fact, I left my father's funeral 30 minutes after it concluded in 2003 to head to Fort Hood to deploy. Left my brothers and mothers in tears, but Viva Barstool, right? Like, so he's basically saying, like, oh, fuck, you know what, Barstool? Like, you made me feel bad. Also, my dad died. So feel bad for me. First of all, I don't believe that for a second. Is that common in the military? If you have a loved one die, like a father, would they literally be like, okay, you have 30 minutes to fucking say your goodbyes, and then we're shipping you off?
All right, so here's my comment on that.
Okay.
I had to go on an extended training exercise in Vermont a number of years ago. As I was leaving to go on that, my mother called me and told my grandmother had passed away. I still had to get in the vehicle and drive all the way to Vermont, northern Vermont, and continue what we were doing. I was allowed 24 hours to drive back and handle the funeral, so to speak, or the observance, and then I went directly back to my service. I will tell you right now that as someone who's been active duty a number of years, if somebody died at that point, they would just send you a week later.
Okay.
That is not... It's not even... Yeah. That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's just another fucking unbelievable... It's just another thing to check about this guy. And if he wasn't so douchey, no one would check, right? No one would check. So there he is talking about the wall. There he is. What else do we got on this guy? There's so many fucking lies. What else does he have here? And he keeps saying that he's been in the Army for 15 years, that he's been to Iraq and all these countries. What else do we have here?
Well, he's claiming he's a chief warrant officer too. what his DD 214 that he
Yeah,
provided.
right. We're gonna get to that in a moment.
Sergeant.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull those up in a
Okay.
moment. We haven't showed those yet. So he's like, I'm just kind of trying to run through the blog first. And he
Okay.
like literally gets into like everything. Like, here's an art comment he makes in May of 2016. Right? I'm in the military, 15 years, 2 tours. Trump is a coward and a liar, and voting for him is spitting on the service of vets. And that's what fucking pisses me off right there. Right? The fact that he's like, well, my opinion is better than yours because I'm a fucking veteran. And I know a lot of veterans that fucking hate that shit. They fucking hate it. Like when other veterans do that. It's like, it was almost like, okay, so you joined the fucking army so you can win a conversation with me? It's like, because I vote for fucking Trump, I'm spitting in your face? I mean, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a mutual friend, and I won't name names, but I'm pretty sure you know who it is.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that same person would not say the same thing about what's going on right now. And politics aside, there's one current president who kind of brought people away from all these conflicts.
That's true, too.
He's not spitting on any veterans ever.
That's a good point, man.
One president who lately has been recovering the covers of Marines on a security guard detail and placing the covers back on their heads. And he has not been demanding umbrellas placed over their heads during rainy seasons or whatever.
I was telling somebody about this the other day when they were talking. I'm like, for the first time in a long time, right? I don't feel any worry about going to war. You know what I mean? Over something stupid. Like when Iran was shooting down drones and shit like that, I just knew in the back of my head, I'm like, Trump's not going to fucking war. He's like, he understands, like, the best thing I have going for me right now is the fucking economy. How do I ruin that? Get involved in another stupid war.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, like, I
love war. War keeps me employed.
War keeps me
But at the same time, it's like, it's not good for the rest of the country.
Yeah. Or for you. I mean, you know what I mean? People, you see some shit back there. I have friends that came back, and it's like, they're all fucked up from it. You know what I mean? Especially people that served in Iraq. They're coming along, fucking IEDs blow up. They watch people die in front of them. And that shit's fucking traumatizing. You know what I mean? You don't ever, like, get over that. And so it's like, and for what? That's what I was getting at with, like, the war. It's like, for fucking what? So ISIS can come in here and fucking take over? The fuck? But anyway, I don't want to get...
Can you pause your scrolling real quick?
Yeah,
Go
okay.
back up just a little bit.
Yeah, what do you want to see?
Because I'm watching the live as I'm talking to you.
Which one do you want to see?
One tweet.
Which one? The highly decorated one?
Just go up like 3 or 4 inches.
Decorated by 3 presidents?
Your wife probably says that to you all the time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had to take a joke. Right there.
Okay.
Nope. Down just a little bit. Right there. Where he says, I'm a highly in bold, decorated, multiple tour combat vet that was a Republican, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So he put in bold, he's a highly decorated.
Well, he did not put in bold.
So
yeah,
just keep that in mind when you look at the DD214.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right.
All of his awards and decorations are redacted.
Yeah, that's a good point.
By his own. By the way, the redaction is not like.
Oh, we're gonna get to that in a moment.
Redaction. All the black lines are for his own privacy.
Right. And so, he keeps saying I'm decorated. Like, that was a common thing. He said, I'm decorated. Like, first of all, I've never heard of a fucking veteran refer to themselves as decorated. I've heard people refer to other soldiers as decorated, but I've never heard of a soldier themselves referring to themselves as decorated. Now, irony of all irony is that this guy, when you search Stolen Valor, holy shit, this guy's like Mr. Stolen Valor Witch Hunt. And he's like, not just, trying to do what we're doing and find out if you're lying. He's the kind of guy that, like, he wants to ruin your life over Stolen Valor. He's like, and I understand it's a big deal, but it's like fucking...
And I'll tell you right now, all this redacted stuff where he says, I blacked that out so people don't question my service.
Mm-hmm.
That's because he's trying to pull Stolen Valor.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely going to get to that.
Right.
So basically...
Sorry, I get heated.
Oh, I bet you. Oh, yeah, totally. I totally get it, man. But... So the guy is like, he's very obsessed with like we're going to ruin you over this. What did he say? Tempted to fire off a Stolen Valor complaint on him. I'll get his name, address from it. Jail time if he's lying. Like, what the fuck? Like, the guy's like literally out for blood. This one's my favorite. I'll file a stolen valor complaint Monday. Twitter will give up his IP. No, they won't. Which will net us his name, address, jail time if he's fake. It's like just the cockiness and the confidence in the way this guy speaks. It's like he's so fucking full of shit.
He's an internet hard ass.
A psychopath, a complete psychopath. He lied about having a consulting company, right, that he allegedly sold. It's obviously not true. Now, sometimes he said he did.
My wife, who's right next to me, just pointed out he's a narcissist.
Oh, very much so. Oh, very much so. And, not a fun person either. Like, talk about no fucking personality. This guy is probably the least fun person to ever hang out with. And he hates dissent. He's blocked everyone who's commented on his shit or questioned him. The number of tours he says he did changes all the time, right? One time he said he did 3 tours. Another time was.
Can you pause your scrolling where it is right now? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, sure. Which one?
Can you just go back up to the poppy field?
Okay, let's talk about the poppy field one.
All right, because I have a personal account of that right now.
Okay, so let me read the tweet for people. It says, in the entirety of my 3 tours, 0 persons were ever assigned to guard a poppy field.
All right, so if I can speak to that on a personal level, because I was deployed to Afghanistan directly after, and if you ever seen the movie Last Man Standing, is that what it's called? It has Mark Wahlberg, Last Man Standing, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
My unit was deployed there directly after those events happened. We were never assigned to guard a poppy field.
Yeah.
I will tell you that when we did a vehicle search one day, we found a large, I don't know how to describe it.
Doesn't that confirm what
he said? A circular brick, if you will.
Yeah.
Wrapped up in a plastic bag, like a grocery bag.
Yeah.
And when we took it, they said, "Oh, well, that's pretty much straight opium from the fields." And they took it and they locked it in a desk in our small compound.
Yeah.
And then when we questioned why the hell we had it, yada yada, and the local tribal leaders came yapping at us, we were told from well above our command to just return it because we had no jurisdiction, because we were there to do what we were doing and we were not there for drug interdiction. So nobody ever guarded a poppy field.
But isn't that what he's saying? But that's what he's saying. He's saying 0 persons were ever assigned to guard a poppy field.
Yeah. But we didn't interdict what they were doing. So I get what he's saying.
Yeah. So it's more inconsistencies, is what you're saying. Little things.
Yeah.
Okay. And he keeps on going. He talks about, he's like, I did a mini consult, which I don't even know what the fuck that means.
That's not even a thing.
My favorite one was when he said he got spit in the face, like it's fucking Nam. Like, give me a fucking break. Nobody got spit in the face over fucking Iraq, dude. This isn't, like, he literally stole that from Nam. Like, fucking, I got spit at the airport, nonetheless.
I had a minor altercation when I came back, when I came off of active duty.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal, but that's the most I ever dealt with. Nobody was spitting in people's faces.
Yes, and in the airport, mind you. He just gets off the plane at Logan, he's walking along, and somebody comes up, he's like, fucking baby killer! Like, he wants that, though. And then he goes, but, the last sentence of every tweet always has to be this thing about how great he is, and he goes, I just looked at them with pity. Moved on. He's literally Jesus Christ, guys. He doesn't get mad. You can spit in his face, and guess what? He's not going to get mad because he's fucking noble, man. I look at you with
his shoes are waterproof. He walks on water.
Shut the fuck up, dude. You're such a fucking liar. Anyway, he also does his interview with Mother Jones, which is a far-left media outlet, and it was about his alleged job there, in which he was supposedly working as a prison guard, and, he saw detainees being beaten, he said, and he basically was like the lone voice of dissent that spoke up, and it's like, this isn't cool. This is against the Geneva Accords, this and that. I don't believe him. Do you?
I'm sorry. I was having a sip of whiskey when you just said that.
Okay. Basically, he said that he worked at this.
Are you talking about the beaten detainees?
Yeah. Do you believe that story?
Listen, my younger brother was he guarded a number of prisoners when he was doing his thing, and I dealt with a number of POWs myself. They were never beaten, especially because everyone around us was thoroughly briefed on the laws of war and the Geneva Convention.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but I mean, it did happen.
Listen, psychological warfare, as far as denying them access to the dark, so we kept our lights on 24/7. Or we played music 24/7. Those are not banned whatsoever under the Geneva Convention. We did not torture them. We did not touch them once they were on us.
All right. So anyway, I mean, I don't believe he did that. I think he was just trying to virtue signal and get on Mother Jones to point out, because this guy loves attention. So he has to be like, well, everyone else in the Army was doing this, but I was the one brave voice of dissent in the crowd that stood up and said, "No, guys, this is wrong. We need to stop this." This is his whole shtick.
Especially as a radio engineer. He definitely was the guy to say that.
Yeah. Like, why would a radio engineer be
boys were doing real things?
Yeah.
He was a radio operator.
Why would a radio operator be a prison guard?
I'm not knocking the people that weren't combat arms, but radio operators were not guarding prisoners.
Yeah. And so, I didn't believe that either. He also says that, he had more lies in there about going to NYU, instead of Harvard. Like, one inconsistency after the other with this tool bag. Anyway, so this blows up because Steve Robinson, the producer of the Kirk Minahan show at Barstool, decides, I'm going to send this guy a message, an email, and see what's going on here. He had previously spoken with them on the phone, and I guess the guy was like a raging lunatic, claimed that the entire conversation was recorded afterwards, which would be a violation of federal wiretapping laws anyway, and then hasn't provided that tape. But according to Steve, he got upset about it because I emailed Steve about this and for comment. I emailed both of them for comment. And according to Steve, he got really mad, and the guy was just screaming at him, so he hung up. And that was it. So they started emailing after that. And Steve wants to know, is this guy, I read all the emails. I've posted all the emails on there. It's very respectful. And he asks him, hey, could you tell me, the exact dates you went? Can you provide your DD-14? Really professional, nothing like whatever. He doesn't accuse him of that. I think it's clear, right? Just from the line of questioning. Like, if I were reading those questions, if you were reading those questions and you were him, if you were, what's his name, Allbright,
so
you would know something's up, right?
I read those questions.
Yeah.
I read what was sent to the person under question.
Yes.
Not only were those questions more than reasonable, if you had asked me those same questions, not only did my wife pulled up one of my DD-214s within, I don't know, in 15 minutes, and the other ones are harder to access just because of internet Department of Defense ID reader issues, but none of those are insane questions. They're very, very easy to answer questions.
Yeah, totally.
And someone who says that they're such a Rambo hero, decorated hero, would be able to answer those.
Yeah, totally.
You know, if you asked me about any of my 5 deployments, I would tell you about all of them.
Yeah,
I'll tell you about all of them. I'll tell you anything you want. Go ahead. Ask me a random question. I'll tell you something.
You don't want to know. I was going to ask something inappropriate.
Ask something weird. Go ahead.
No. I'm just kidding. So let me read some of the questions he asked. I'm trying to pull these emails up here.
All right. I won't look at them. I'm looking away from my screen. Go ahead. Ask me whatever you want. I promise I'll let you.
Well, let me just read the ones he asked in here. He goes, you told him you were deployed from 23 to 2004 in Iraq. Were you attached to the 82nd Airborne and witnessed torture of Iraqi detainees? The Army tells me they have no record of you. Why is that? Also, it goes on to say, you said last week on your radio show you were deployed in 2007. They tell me you have no record. What's up with that? You said on Twitter you made the rank of CW2 by the middle of your second deployment. They said that you only served 1 deployment and only made rank of sergeant. Why is that? You said multiple times on Twitter that you served 4 years in combat. The Army tells me you were deployed for a total of 6 months. Can you explain this inconsistency? Whatever. So basically, these are legitimate questions because I saw the emails from the Army The Army said these things. So a reporter's job is to bring this up. Now, the problem is Barstool isn't really known for investigative reporting. Turtle Boy is. And that's what Kirk Minahan loves that shit. Steve Robinson and Howie Carr, they love that shit. But Dave Portnoy, Davey Mouse, is a coward. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Dave Portnoy is a fucking gutless coward who cares about one thing. Dave Portnoy. All right? And his goal here is ultimately not to make anyone upset. So here's what happens. Basically, the douchebag decides he's going to tweet this out. He's like, oh, look at this. This guy is accusing me of, stolen valor. Look at this fucking email. This douchebag, he tags Barstool in it, and it gets all these, like, oh, how everybody gets mad at them. They're like, how dare you attack this veteran? Fuck. He's like, I'm going to produce my shit tomorrow, my DD-214s. I'm going to do this and that. And he looks sympathetic because it looks like here's this guy who is not a veteran, who is coming at this guy who claims to be a veteran and questioning him. But not just questioning him, accusing him. That's the way he made it seem. In reality, he was literally just asking questions. He hadn't published any stories about them. This is a private email. And next thing you know, boom, he's made it public for the whole world to see. Steve didn't choose to do that. Douchebag did. So now Barstool gets mad at him. There's this other veteran. Do you know that guy Chaps from Barstool?
Who?
Chaps. I think that's what they call him.
I'm personally not a Barstool kind of guy.
Me neither.
Take a sip of water. Calm yourself down.
Yeah, I know. Well, let me just tell you. This guy, he's one of the newer guys. He must have come on when, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago. I stopped fucking paying attention once they started blogging about Rihanna and shit. So anyway, the guy, Chaps, tweets out something to the extent of like, I'm so sorry that they're doing this. And Chaps is a veteran. And he's like, I'm so sorry that they're doing this. They have no right to ask you that. I apologize. It's like, man, that must be fucking awful to work with people like that just fucking sell you out and try to embarrass you like that. It's like, fuck you, douchebag. You're a veteran and you don't care. Well, they do. They do care. And they have a fucking right to care. Even if they're not in the Army, they're still American fucking citizens. They're still journalists. They have every right to fucking care. And just because you want to fucking work at Barstool and be all non-controversial and talk about fucking, Ariana Grande and other shit that's just not going to offend anyone because you want to be a fucking pussy and you don't have the fucking balls to write a story like that, don't fucking hate on it. That's what makes Minahan and Steve interesting people. The fact that they research shit. They look into shit like the Kevin Cullen shit. Remember the Kevin Cullen shit at the Globe last year? What's going on there? You swimming? You with us there, G.I. Turtle?
Yeah. I'm here.
You swimming or something? I hear water.
Oh, no. Just pouring some whiskey.
Yeah. There. Good. Do you follow? Have you followed the Kevin Cullen story last year in the Globe?
Yeah. I mean, I follow pretty much everything that you do, and it's all.
No, not me. Not me. The Minahan story. You know what I'm talking about? Never mind. Okay, never mind. Dead air. So basically, you guys remember last year with the Kevin Cullen story, right? Basically, the guy lied. He said he was at the Boston Marathon bombing. Kirk Minahan dug into it. He found out fucking everything about this guy. And that's what makes Kirk interesting. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at here. That's the kind of content I'm a 37-year-old grown-ass man. I don't have time to be reading about fucking Rihanna. I don't give a shit. I don't want your lukewarm, non-controversial. I want fucking juiciness, man. And this fucking douchebag.
It's the same like what's his name on the whoever it was on the nightly news that was like, I was
Brian
there,
Williams. Right. Well, this is better than that because Brian Williams.
Desert Storm, and he wasn't there.
But it's much better than that though because Brian Williams wasn't a cocky douchebag piece of shit, right? This guy. That's what makes the story juicy. It's that this guy literally wins every fucking argument with, well, I'm so much fucking smarter than you because I'm in the fucking army. I'm decorated. Like, why? And he's also attacking your fucking brand. He's attacking Barstool. Why wouldn't you want to defend the wall? And that's what makes Portnoy so hypocritical, right? It's
not that he, to me at least, and I'm sorry to interrupt, it's not that he wins an argument, it's that he shuts the opposition up with his quote-unquote credentials.
Right, exactly. He wins it. He ends the conversation, right? And that's what pisses me off about Portnoy, is that he's always said this, like, Barstool versus the world, us versus anyone. Whenever somebody writes a hit piece on Dave Portnoy, when Deadspin or one of these people fucking does that, fucking stops everything, right? We're fucking fighting back. We're doing this, right? He's declared war on Sam Ponder. He's declared war on fucking ESPN. He's declared war on Deadspin. He's declared war on Jezebel. He's declared war on all these fucking institutions. But the second this douchebag, who has a blue check mark, so he must be important, and 83,000 followers, attacks one of his people, right? And, you know, in their affiliation with the Barstool brand, he doesn't have their fucking back. And he was actually thinking about firing Steve Robinson over this. What a gutless fucking pussy Dave Portnoy is. Gutless, man. I mean, I can already hear people. Oh, he's fucking so much richer than you, fucking Uncle Turtle fucker. But yeah, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, he's rich. Doesn't make him any less of a fucking pussy. You know how he did? You know how he got all that money? By having fucking balls, right? By doing shit. If he had the same tactics that he had now, which is literally letting this guy control their content. Because guess what? They're not going to write the story now at Barstool. The only place you're going to read about it is on Turtle Boy, right? They're going to drop this shit, I guarantee you, because he's fucking scared of this guy. This fucking pussy gets to control content on Barstool Sports. What a fucking disgrace that institution is. I feel kind of bad for Steve and Steve and Kirk that they have to work there. I don't feel that bad because I'm sure they're getting paid nicely. Because Barstool's rolling in cash. But at the same time, it's like, I'd almost rather be fucking poor and free than, like, you know, have money and be fucking cuckolded by, you know, Dave Portnoy, you know, by these fucking hypocrites.
Well, number one, we do not support cucks. Number two, may I just let all the turtle riders in the comments know that I was not peeing. I was
Why do people think you're
whiskey into my glass?
Yeah, much better.
I was not taking a leak live on the phone.
Yeah. People are calling you R. Kelly now.
I muted myself when I took a leak.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah. So
Sorry, I didn't mean...
No, it's all... I don't believe you, but anyway.
My wife said I derailed the conversation.
Yeah. So this is what Chap said. He goes, if the people at Kirk Minian Show are doing this, it's absolutely bullshit, and I apologize to Ben. This is beyond fucked up. Don't post your records, Ben, but you don't know anyone anything. Thank you for your honorable service. Oh, fuck off already. So
that's bullshit. See that? That's a cuck right there.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
totally.
That's a cuck.
Totally.
Telling another cuck to be a cuck.
Yeah. But you see his mom texting too? His alleged... My mom texted me telling me, like... I guarantee he sent those texts to his mom. It's so fucking easy. You just tape... Here's all you got to do is you just make your own... You make your own phone number or contact in your phone. I can just make it up, right? And then I can put mom for that contact. And then I text myself, right? And I have a fucking conversation with myself back and forth, and it looks like I'm talking to my fucking mom. You know, it's not that hard. Or you just have somebody else do it. You know, the idea that this is authentic is fucking patently absurd. Like, I don't believe that for a fucking
I'll tell you this. My mother and I are relatively close, and we have never had text like that before in my life.
Yeah. Oh, but he wants to show off. Like, my mom's fucking edgy. My mom, she's fucking, I gotta hold her back. My mom, don't fuck with my
mother.
mom.
It's like, hey, can you watch the kids on Saturday?
Yeah, exactly.
No. Why not? Busy. Okay.
So this dude, right? He wants to, let's see here. That's his. So he decides he's going to produce his DD-214s. It takes a long time, though. Every veteran I've spoken with, and you can speak of this, can get their DD-214s within minutes, they say. Is that true?
So the one physical copy that I had, which was from my active duty service, I pulled up within 5 minutes. It was in one of my fireproof boxes. My current digital ones that I can get off of the iPerms website, I do not currently have access based on my, it's something to do with access, but I could, within 24 hours, hand you my past 4 or 5 that I received.
Mm-hmm. I believe, oh, totally. And so, 4 or 5, that's interesting, because you get one, I believe, for each deployment, correct?
Correct. So especially as someone who's been active duty and in the Guard, and this guy is claiming he was in the reserves, would work exactly the same as the Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you've been called up to active duty, whether it's 5 days, 5 months, 5 years, whatever, you will receive a separate DD-214, which is a Department of Defense Form 214,
mm-hmm.
for each time you were called up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll receive one when you retire,
mm-hmm.
which will quantify all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say within 12 hours from now, I could go down to Worcester to my unit and pop out a whole bunch of these suckers.
All right, so let's look at it, right? So he has produced it, he has tweeted it out, and this is his alleged proof. Then he's like shoving it in their face, like, oh, fucking, checkmate. So he has redacted certain parts of it. Now the Social Security number is redacted.
Weird parts of it.
Understandable to Social Security, date of birth. I get that. Home of record.
Why would he? But why would he even? Why would he even redact his own date of birth?
I don't know. Good question. Who knows? But whatever.
Who cares about his date of birth? But okay.
His address. Now this is where it gets interesting down here. Two things that stand out. A couple things. So first of all, under decorations, medals, badges, citations, and campaign ribbons, blah blah blah. It says, and there's a big chunk of it that is redacted, which is fucking odd. It's very odd. Now, let's talk about... Now, this is what he says, by the way. I just want to read to you guys what his reason was for redacting that particular bit of information. Let me
go to that before we go to the comparison.
Yeah, let me pull it up
ridiculous.
Here. Because it made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Give me one sec. He's got so much. Okay, so this is what somebody asked about that. Why'd you black that out? He goes, because I'm hoping someone will accuse me of wearing awards I didn't earn. So what he's essentially saying here is that he is hoping that Steve Robinson and Kirk Minahan accuse him of lying about awards. And guess what he's going to do then? He's going to unredact this and say, ha ha ha, see? I fucking got you. I don't believe that for a freaking second, do you?
I mean, I don't believe it for 3 seconds myself.
Well, it's like, why not? I mean, why would anybody do that?
The most basic ones that he would have in that area that would apply to anybody during this time of service are quote-unquote redacted.
Yeah, so let's talk about what's in here now. I just think that's such a fucking bad lie. Like, that's not even believable. He's literally saying here, oh, I hope that they accuse me of not winning a medal, and then I'm going to show them I won it. Like, oh, I'm fucking 4 steps ahead of them. I'm a diabolical genius. Ha ha ha, little do they know. But yet, he's tweeting about it, and they could see that. So, anyway, let's talk about the individual awards he has here. National Defense Service Medal. You get that for what?
You get that for going to boot camp.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good for him. He also, next up, Armed Forces Reserve Medal.
You get that for being in the Army Reserves and graduating from boot camp.
Okay. Oh, so 2 boot camp ones. Okay. And then he's got WM Device.
Yes, that's with meritorious device. That means he was really good at being in boot camp.
Man, this guy's the fucking star of the boot camp. And he also says Army Service Ribbon. What's that?
That means you served in the Army.
So this is like literally the most generic shit that he's got. That he has.
That's the most generic stuff I could possibly.
Right.
I have guys that come to me as E2 privates that have more than that.
Yeah, and don't you think, given this guy's background, given that he's like such a freaking hardo about like, I'm the fucking highly decorated. He said he's highly decorated a million times. Yet, why would you not show your highly decorations? No.
I've known you for a while, I guess. Have I ever told you that I'm highly decorated?
No, I've never heard a veteran say that ever.
Right,
besides him.
But I sent you a picture of my DD-214.
We're going to look at the difference in yours in a minute.
Does that look? I guess you would say, compared to the other one, highly decorated.
Much compared to him, certainly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even consider myself highly decorated.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though I've done much more since that. Mm-hmm. That's from 06. I have more, and by tomorrow I can give you more.
Yeah.
So to say that he's highly decorated, but not showing that he's highly decorated is beyond highly suspect.
So here's a question: what's under the black redactions? What's under there?
I would venture to say almost nothing,
or nothing at all. It just makes. I think it's completely blank.
That is a standard form, and I venture to say there might be one more something on the next line that takes up a third of the next line, and the rest is empty.
Yeah, and so it's like I feel like if he had anything worth showing, he would have shown it there because that's the kind of guy he is.
Exactly.
And so then let's go on to down here under the remarks, and he's got under with a red line. It says SM has served in an imminent danger pay area from March 4th, 2000. What does it say? Oh no, from
March 4th, 19, which is
what? Okay, so that's
correct.
So
03/04/19 is March 19th, 2004.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's wrong to begin with. The military dates are weird.
Yeah.
But that would say March 19th, 2004.
Yeah, this is. I didn't even notice this. The dates are. He fucked up.
Whatever way you read it, those dates are completely incorrect.
What he meant to.
Because even if you read it as a normal civilian, 03/04/19 to 04/03/04 is backwards.
Yeah, it's backwards. And
I'll tell you right now,
I think
based on the redundancy and the checking, if you will, on your subordinates, those dates would never have been. The computer wouldn't even let those be entered.
Right, exactly. Like, I think what it meant, and that's what brings me to: was this freaking a manipulation? Did he Photoshop it? So to find that out, I simply Googled it. Okay, and
is it a shoop? Are you asking if it's a shoop?
What's a shoop?
A photo shoop?
A photo shoop? Is that what it's called?
I've been around the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, some people call it shoop.
Okay, never heard of it. Well, I'm going to show you right now. Right, so I'm on, as people on the screen can see right now. I'm on the. I Googled it. I brought out my own DD214 form, and guess what? I can just go in here and write. I'm a fucking badass. Right now, I can obviously.
Can you shift that down a little bit?
Yeah, obviously, I would take my time. I would find the correct font that would match up with this one.
Well, the font is Times New Roman. All government forms are Times New Roman.
But how come the spacing in between the letters seems to be small? Let me shrink this down. Can I go 12? Let's see. I'll go 12. What happens there?
So all of these documents are generated in MS-DOS format on a computer that doesn't look like this form.
Really? Okay. Well, look at I can. My point here is, right, I'm sure if you give me some time.
You can make it look legit. I have no doubt.
Of course. So, I am not saying that I have any evidence whatsoever that he fucking photoshopped this or fucked with this or whatever. But I'm saying he could, right? I mean, I don't. And given this guy's history, you lie about one thing, you lie about everything, right? That's who you are. You're a fucking liar. When you lie about shit, everything should be questioned. Everything. Now let's look at yours for a moment to see the difference, shall we?
Okay.
So we have
we have all the correct stuff redacted, do we?
Yes,
right.
we do. Yes. Okay.
All right. So my name and my
yes, it's all. I sent it to you before to make sure it was all right.
I know. We checked on it earlier. I just want to make sure.
Okay. So
and this is from my experience. This is not everyone's. This is from my experience.
Yeah. So under your decorations and badges, I see a lot of shit here. Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, Combat Action Ribbon, Global War and Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, CSIR. And by the way, his DD-214s, he has not proven that he was in Afghanistan. That is still completely baseless. And he took that tweet down.
By the way, DD-214 does not show that you were anywhere, per se.
It doesn't? His said Iraq and Kuwait.
So I have an Iraq campaign medal and an Afghan campaign medal, but it doesn't say when I was there. It doesn't say what I did while I was there. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm looking at your remarks right now, and it doesn't say what countries you were in.
If you look in section 13, under my medals and awards citations,
yes, it does there.
I have an Iraq campaign medal and an Afghan campaign
right.
medal. Those are only awarded to people that were in theater.
Right. Okay. So those are...
So those will prove, if you have that under DD-214, it definitively proves that you were there.
Okay.
And you were there for more than 30 days. If you were there for less than 30 days, you do not receive that.
Okay. So that's interesting. In your remarks, it doesn't say. His actually say I was in imminent danger pay area. Like that's that wording, imminent. Why would they put that?
The document that he submitted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so imminent danger pay is odd.
Mm-hmm.
You can be. I got it. You can be if you land in Iraq. Say you landed in Baghdad Airport. For one day en route to somewhere else, you would qualify for imminent danger pay. Okay. And a lot of units during this time frame would cycle their people through, say, Baghdad International, or BIOP, as it was called, or Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan, to get their guys at least a month of tax-free pay. Mm-hmm. So to say that you were in an imminent danger pay area, and this is 03-04-19 to 04-03-04. First of all, those dates don't make sense to me as a military guy.
Right, and yours doesn't say anything like that. And yours is obviously legit. Listen to the wife. What's the wife telling you?
So I just want to confirm, because I'm looking at one of my more recent ones.
Yeah.
On my laptop here. Hold on. Operation of Freedom in accordance with 10 members complete first full term of service. 2011 07 28. Mm-hmm. 2011 08 08. That's odd. Myself.
Yeah.
Oh, PDMRA. All right. So that's something. That's something separate, though.
Well, anyway, so basically, I there's a lot. What I'm getting at here is that there's questions with this. All this didn't.
A lot of things on the documents that he provided are really questionable.
Very questionable.
To say the least.
He acted like this was like the checkmate thing, and it's like, dude, this. First of all, it doesn't confirm you were in Afghanistan. It shows that you did one tour. It would seem to confirm that you were in Iraq and Kuwait at that time, if it's real. Which, quite frankly, based on those dates and the language used and the inconsistencies, I think a lot of people have to wonder: is this fucking real? Right? So
I'm going to tell you right now that I think his ass was deployed to Kuwait as a support personnel for communications.
Yeah.
And that's only my feeling. I can't legally say X, Y, or Z. But
you're allowed to have an opinion.
To me, my opinion is that this guy was a non-combat personnel deployed in support of possible combat operations, but definitely in support of communications, and that he never really did anything legitimate.
Yeah.
I'm looking at his box 11 that said he went to Signal Support Systems Specialist School for 1 year, 2 months. Nothing follows.
Mm-hmm. That's odd.
All right.
Yeah.
So he went to radio school for 1 year and 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't even if the guy was in even if he was in Iraq and Afghanistan, as long as he claimed, the only thing that this guy ever did was sit in a command center and monitor radios. And that's all that kind of job does. They do not go out. They do not do things. They do not go on patrol. They monitor radios, and they make sure that they make sure that radio satellite dishes are pointed the correct direction, etc. They do not do anything of any merit. They do a significant job that is important, but they do not kick in doors and take down bad guys.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Not for them.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, so basically, I think enough questions over here have been raised that there is still a lot of doubt in this douchebag, and yeah. So anyway, I want to talk about something else just for a moment, unrelated to this.
Sure.
And so a lot of people have been asking about. So I did a blog yesterday, but it was on the old server, so it's gone now, right? If you guys have been following the Hadassah story, I am.
Love it.
Have you been following it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, who hasn't? So she has taken out a restraining order against me. Obviously, she does not have anything to get a restraining order on me. But
I want to start the hashtag Vladimir did nothing wrong.
yeah, well, we saw today Vladimir's a heroin dealer, actually.
Oh, okay. Vladimir didn't do nothing then.
Yeah, okay. It didn't do nothing, yeah. So I have to go to court in Milford. And this is how fucked up our judicial system is, by the way. That fact that, like, anybody, like, what if I was a teacher still? Like, and I got shit to do. It's like, I got to use a fucking personal day and kids don't learn because, why? Because this psychopath, this completely irrational human being.
You got to use a personal day the week before school starts.
Right. Well, you know what I mean.
Okay. I know from personal experience that all the teachers are in school right now handling stuff.
Yeah, that's frowned upon. If you take a personal day during fucking PD days, that's a big no-no. And so, like, but my point here is that, like, so anybody can just inconvenience someone else's life for this shit? Like, I gotta fucking take time off for this? Why? To humor this woman's delusions? Obviously, this is a fucking joke. Obviously, she's not gonna get a restraining order because guess what? Fucking, I haven't fucking done anything. She literally invited me to Milford to go through her books, tour the house, and write a story about what I fucking saw. And guess what? That's exactly what I did. That's it. And I don't call her, nothing. Like, so what are you trying to restrain? Like, she's not going to get it, but my point is, why am I being inconvenienced by this nonsense? This is fucking ridiculous. Our judicial system needs, like, a fucking checkpoint. Like, there needs to be somebody sitting at the door, right, reading, if you want to sue somebody, whatever, there needs to be somebody that just looks through and, like the Ryan Waters lawsuit. They just need to look through and be like, well, this is horse shit. Let's get the fuck out of here. We don't have time for this shit. Courts are for fucking grown-up shit. This is fucking bullshit. Get out of my face, right? So I'm going to be, but you know what? I'm looking forward to it. If they want to treat the courts like a circus, then I'm going to turn it into a circus. I'm going to wear all Turtle Boy shit to court that day. And guess what? I got reached out to today by a pro bono lawyer. I am not saying who that is, right? But Hadassah is going to be very surprised when she sees who it is. It's going to be fucking interesting. It is probably going to be, when she comes in, I don't need a lawyer. I could fucking beat this on my own. I've beaten fucking bullshit harassment orders on my own before. But I got offered service from a lawyer. And this particular lawyer, it's gonna be fun. Let me tell you, it's gonna be fucking fun. I can't wait to see her face when she sees who this lawyer fucking is. And I'm not telling anybody who the lawyer is until next Thursday. That's when the freaking hearing is. I'll do a press conference outside. If anybody wants to come, bring your books. Come on, you guys. We can have a cheering section. We can turn this into fucking Happy Gilmore Does Court. That's what I want to turn this into. If they want to treat the courts like a fucking circus, then I'll treat the courts like a fucking circus. Because it needs to be made a fucking mockery of. This is a fucking joke that this lunatic can make me drive the fucking mill. You gonna pay for my gas money, bitch? No, you're not. Okay? So, when I'm down there, too, I'm gonna make a day out of it. I'm going to town hall. We're going live, right? I'm gonna find fucking Kincaid. I'm gonna find the town administrator, and I'm gonna hold him to task. Okay? That's what I'm gonna fucking do. Turtle Boy invades Milford next Thursday. So get used to it. Anybody who wants to come and join me is more than welcome. So anyway, why don't we take a little questions? If you guys have any questions for myself or G.I. Turtle, in the comments, let me know.
Oh, give me the questions. I love the questions.
People are saying,
really awesome. I don't give a flying crap.
Barnum and Turtle Boy. Yeah.
We're on the internet. I can say flying fuck. Yeah. I don't give a flying fuck.
All right. Any questions here?
Somebody had asked if I was some kind of celebrity, and that I'm definitely not that person.
No, low key.
I'm not Steven Seagal. I swear to heaven.
Why, do you sound like him or something?
Somebody said that I sounded like Steven Seagal.
Kind of a little bit, yeah.
I ain't that old.
Yeah.
I'm currently drinking Jim Beam, although I prefer Blanton's hand-labeled.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not a whiskey guy.
There you go. Jay Shock Blast, you're welcome. I think you're awesome yourself.
Oh, Jay's a big YouTube creator. You know, he's kind of a big shot on YouTube.
Well, you know what? I like him. He's a good man.
Oh, Jay's good. I met him.
You know what?
Back in middle school.
I'll tell you what. I didn't come on here for anybody to thank me for my service. I just came on here to destroy someone for their bullshit service.
Yeah, exactly. And not even bullshit service. Like, he lies about fucking everything. You know what I mean?
It's like it's everything I've seen says he did serve.
Yeah.
But he was such a bitch at what he did that he made up a whole bunch of other bullshit.
Somebody asked, did you see that
Unc
Elizabeth Warren is...
his...
Go ahead. Speaking of liars...
I'm trying to read this. Eddie Ellertson, when Unc exposes this piece of garbage, and if he did in fact lie about his records, is he subject to military prosecution? I don't believe so. I mean, you might be able to be prosecuted under stolen valor, but who's going to go after that? Nobody. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
he's going to be prosecuted under the court of public opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody else asks, did you see the Elizabeth Warren apologizing for claiming to be Native American now? Speaking of liars that are trying to... I did see that. She deleted... Remember that video when she announced her campaign? She went to Oklahoma and she's like, the 1/124th.
Oklahoma!
She tweeted that thing out and put it out there like it was like, this fucking proves I'm legit. It's like exactly like Albright. Like, see? It's like... No, it actually proves you're not legit. It proves you're 1/1024th. She has since deleted that. Like it never, like we all didn't see it, but yet she is still second in the polls, and I still think she's going to win the Democratic nomination, and I will be voting for her.
I think she is too.
I am the leader. I am the official leader of the Turtles for Pocahontas campaign tour. Because I want the weakest...
I hope she takes it.
Right.
I pray.
Right. I want the weakest candidate.
Hopes and prayers.
Yeah, I want the weakest candidate. It's like rooting for the freaking Arizona Cardinals to play the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Why wouldn't you want the weakest team in there? You know, why do you want to go against the fucking Rams or, one of the best teams? You know, when you can play the worst team.
Between her and Biden, I mean, you can't, heaven forbid, one latches onto the other.
Well, Biden can
beat the weakest ticket on earth.
Biden can, my point is, Biden can give Trump a run.
From everything I've seen, Biden has a solid grasp on the old person Democrats.
Very much so. And black Democrats, right? That's a big part of the Democratic base is black voters.
He's non-confrontational. He's like, I'm just Joe Biden. Don't worry about him.
And you know what?
Me? I'm fine.
Black voters in the Democratic Party, what they like the establishment. Like in 2008, Hillary was beating fucking Obama in the fucking early primaries, with the black vote. That's fucking crazy. Because they just black voters. They love establishment Democrats. They loved Bill, right? They love Biden. They grew to love Obama, right? And that's why they like him. And they don't want fucking Liz Warren. She's fucking a little weird. This white chick, Can
I tell you who? Can I tell you who my oldest child is? Yeah. Can I tell you who he loves for the Democrats?
Who?
He loves Bernie because he thinks he's the dumbest person he's ever heard in his life.
Yeah, that's another one I'd like to see win the nomination. He ain't going to do it.
My son is 12 and thinks Bernie is actually retarded.
I mean, Bernie only appeals to the young lunatics. Every time there's some nut job screaming at someone, they're never wearing a Mayor Pete shirt. They're always wearing a fucking Bernie shirt. He attracts the worst in the Democratic base.
They're wearing overalls and have dreadlocks, and
they're just fucking bunch of degenerate losers, Anyway, if Warren wins the nomination, she has to resign from the Mass Senate. Not if she wins the nomination. If she wins the presidency, she does. John Kerry didn't have to give up his seat when he ran for president. Any other questions?
What do you? I got a question. What do you think about Markey possibly losing his seat to Kennedy?
Is that real?
I mean, I'm not saying it's real, but the info on the news is saying it might be real.
It ain't gonna happen because Markey.
I'm not saying it's real.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's what the news is pushing.
Yeah, they're trying to push it because let's face it. I mean, Kennedy was born to fucking be a senator someday. It's in his fucking DNA. He's such a queef. I fucking hate that guy. That guy is obsessed with transgender shit, and it fucking annoys me to no end. He's an evil ginger. He's the worst. But guess what? Ed Markey is the same fucking shit. Ed Markey, basically, he literally looks like a puppet. And his whole thing, right, was nobody pays attention to the guy. He's just another old white guy in the Senate. So how does he make a name for himself? Well, he fucking attaches himself to the Green New Deal. Now he's fucking hip. That was his whole thing. Now people know who he is. Oh, the other Massachusetts senator. Not Pocahontas. The white guy. What's his name? Oh, yeah, Ed Markey. He was fucking the Green New Deal guy. And that's his whole thing. So, no, I don't think Ed Markey's in any danger, but I don't know how long he'll hold on to that seat simply because he's fucking old, you know? And eventually Joe Kennedy will be the next senator from Massachusetts because it's fucking Massachusetts. Yeah.
I mean, Markey might mysteriously die or some bullshit.
Yeah, or, you know, so what else?
Can I respond to a Twitter writer?
What'd they ask?
Cherokee 51774. I will come on as often as Uncle would like me to come on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'd like to have more guests on in general, because especially on a.
I like to drink whiskey and I like to spell my bullshit. So
there you go.
There you go.
There you
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anybody else have any questions they want to ask me, or G.I. Turtle? Let's see. Can you wear shirts? Yes, I would prefer if you did wear shirts. Actually, I'd love to meet some people.
If they have any legit questions for me, then pub them out now. If not, then Daddy's gonna go to bed.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Why don't we call it a night, guys?
Hold on.
What?
Eddie Ellerson said drunk off, and I'll tell you right now, I will challenge Brett to a drunk off any day.
Oh,
I love Brett. Brett is
lose.
damn near the reason why I love Turtle Boy, and I will drink Brett under the table.
I don't think you will, man. I've been around Brett before, and you know I brought a 12-pack up there back when he was living up in fucking Athol. I've never seen somebody consume a fucking 12-pack of shitty beer faster than that man, whilst fucking smoking 4 blunts and ripping down a pack of butts. Like I've never seen anything like Brett Killerin. And
how fast have you seen someone rip down a handle of Jim Beam while doing the same thing?
Well, maybe Brett's a beer guy, so it's different.
Oh,
yeah, a cheap beer guy.
All right,
you know.
Well, you let Brett know he's on notice.
Yeah, okay. All right, guys. We're gonna call it a night, folks. I'm gonna end the podcast now, but thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you all on Thursday. All right, peace, Tartar Riders.